Hello again. My name is Maya Kehr Yoder, and I'm coming to you from First Mennonite Church in Iowa City. And today, in our continuation of the journey to the cross in Matthew, we are going to look at the tension between Jesus' kingdom and the empire, which I think is really, really essential to talk about whenever we talk about the gospel, because I think it's at the heart of what a lot of Jesus's actions and words are pointing us towards. So in this particular section, as Jesus stays in Jerusalem, the religious and the Roman leaders work together to try to verbally trap him by asking a question about taxes. And the focus verse is Jesus' response. So Jesus says, "Show me the coin used for the tax." And they brought him a denarius. Then he said to them, "Whose head is this, and whose title?" They answered, "The emperor's." Then he said to them, "Give therefore to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's." And with this response, he has outwitted them and just escaped their verbal trap. I think the author Dorothy Jean Weaver does a fine job talking about how clever Jesus' response is and talking through just exactly how that works. So that's pages 17 through 18. And I think it would be worth highlighting that portion in your group discussion. So the heart of this discussion, though, is the question of allegiance. And at least in my context of the United States, this is not such an easy question right now. The rise in nationalism, especially Christian nationalism, has muddied the waters. It seems religion has been confused with empire, and we aren't clear enough about what belongs to God. I can appreciate the idea in this text that sorting out allegiances is never one and done, but the task of a lifetime. And yet, I also want to ask, when do we, as followers of Jesus, need to be bold in our allegiance to God instead of empire? When might it be necessary to protect what is God's, give it to God, and refuse to give it to the empire? In short, when do we need to ruffle some feathers? I think it will be really interesting for you to engage this tension in your discussion. And I want to share with you something that I wrote with Pastor Jim Grossnickel-Batterton, and it was for a Sunday service when we were considering this very question of allegiance. Our society asks us to pledge allegiance to a piece of cloth. Our God requires all of our allegiance. Our society equates God's will with our nation's will. Our God rejects idols. Our society practices justice and liberty selectively. Our God washes away barriers to justice. So let this be our pledge. We pledge allegiance to no flag, but to God, the Holy Trinity, and to all children of God, one kingdom under Christ, joined by Spirit, with mercy and justice for all. I hope you are blessed in your wrestling.